Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support, guys. Listen, a couple of days ago, there was big news out of New York, Queens to be exact. Shout out NY. And it's about this gentleman right here, man. And this is a disturbing case. If you guys don't take family members in your, that you know with mental illness that are prone to extreme anger and frequent outbursts, maybe this story will change your mind. Mental health and mental illness is something that needs to be taken serious. You never know what's going on in anybody's head, whether they're sane or not. And you don't want to wind up in this position like these folks did, just trying to help someone that they deemed the name family. This man right here, 38-year-old Courtney Gardner, is done lost his life only after he went on the stabbing rampage where he stabbed 6 people. In fact, he stabbed 7 people. And you'll see it, who we stabbed, and it's just crazy. When people lose their mind, they lose it. And sometimes when they get into these fits of rage, an act of kindness can cost you your life. Take a look at this. We'll come back and talk about it.
One woman remains in critical condition after a relative went on a stabbing rampage, killing 4 other family members and wounding 2 officers.
Briella Tomasetti joins us from Flushing, Queens, where that woman is still fighting for her life. Good morning, Briella.
Yeah, Tashani and Dan, good morning to both of you. Such an awful story to have to report on. Family members, though, in the Bronx knew that 38-year-old Courtney Gordon was a growing threat to their safety. His erratic behavior forcing his own aunt and cousin to set up cameras inside their home. They even started locking the doors to their rooms before finally kicking him out. And another aunt is fighting for her life here at New York Presbyterian after Gordon turned on her and repeatedly stabbed her.
We just told him he can't be here anymore because he's causing too much trouble.
The family of 38-year-old Courtney Gordon began to suspect that he was suffering from mental health issues earlier this year. Sean McCoy says his cousin's behavior continued to decline until it took a drastic turn for the worse this week.
As a cousin, I tried my best to try to get him a job, try to work with him, and it just wasn't working out.
Gordon stabbed 4 of his family members to death early Sunday morning. Police have identified the victims as 11-year-old Miklia James, 12-year-old Rogine Davis, 44-year-old Suzette Taylor Davis, and Richmond Davis, who was in his 30s. Gordon also stabbed his 61-year-old aunt, the woman who took him in, who is now clinging to life at New York Presbyterian Hospital in Queens. According to the NYPD, he lit the front of the home on fire before walking out with a suitcase and stabbing 2 responding officers. One of the cops fired at Gordon to stop him. Gordon was pronounced dead at the hospital, and this kitchen knife was recovered at the scene. The 2 cops were treated for their injuries and released.
They try to get help for him. They try to get mental health workers to come in and try to see what was going on with him, and he refused it.
McCoy says he and his mother let Gordon live at their home in the Bronx for a few months, but ultimately they threw him out following frequent outbursts and uncontrollable anger. McCoy's mother, who didn't want to show her face on camera, says that decision may have saved their lives.
I wanted him out because when someone have mental issues, you never know when they're going to flip.
According to the Daily News, Gordon's aunt in Far Rockaway allowed him to move in a couple of weeks ago because he had been shuffling in and out of homeless shelters following a separation from his wife. Now the surviving family members are trying to make sense of the unthinkable.
This was not the same Courtney that I used to.
Guys, that's the sad news about what happened to Courtney Gordon. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. Sometimes you got to let people go when they won't accept help. Now, granted, this guy was growing into a menacing type of figure. He was not only a risk to the people in that house, but possibly he could have been a risk to people out in the street. And you're seeing he was living with an aunt before, and he was kicked out. Another aunt picked him up because they heard he was in and out of homeless shelters. A lot of people feel guilt when people have mental illness and they try to do the right thing and be supportive. Nobody wants to see a family member suffer. You guys agree or disagree? But sometimes, if it's a danger to you and the stability of your household, you have to deny that, especially when somebody won't seek help. They said they tried to get him help, wouldn't take medication, wouldn't accept it. I told you before, people that are crazy don't think they're crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they don't think they have a mental illness because a lot of times they don't even know when they throwing fits or not. They said this guy right here was having extreme fits of anger and frequent outbursts, uncontrolled, unpredictable aggression. That's never a good combination. Never a good combination. This guy stabbed an 11-year-old girl, 12-year-old girl, 44-year-old woman, 30-year-old cousin who was a male, 61-year-old aunt who's still clinging to life right now. And she's the one whose house he was in that was trying to be nice and supportive of her own sister's child. In addition to 2 police officers, one of which shot him after he stabbed him in the neck. It's an unfortunate accident, but it's a reality that we all face out here. A lot of us got people that aren't right in the head, and we try to help them, and it always backfires. And some of us just sacrifice because we don't want to see nothing happen to them. But sometimes you can't try to help somebody that's not sane while losing your own sanity. I don't know what to do in a situation like that. I've never been in this position. But they thought they were doing the right thing, and it cost them dearly. Here, these 2 little girls weren't even teenagers yet, and they're gone. The knife that he used, a steak knife, horrific. Horrific, because you got to go more than once into somebody to make any type of impression when stabbing them with that. So you can imagine what the crime scene looked like and the horror that ensued those officers when they went in there and seen that. All in all, this guy is dead. And maybe if he wouldn't, sought help or let them help him, everything would have been different. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people out there suffer from mental illness. It may not be to the extreme of this man right here, but you got to remember something. When people are telling you to seek help, they're not trying to make fun of you, or it's not a sign of weakness. It's something that happens, and it affects a lot of Americans out here that don't want to go through the embarrassment of shame of seeing themselves as not normal. Has nothing to do with it. If you got people in a supporting group around you that's asking you to, go and seek help or want to help you, these are people that love you and they want to see you around and want to see you in the best version of yourself and get you back to normal. Sometimes it takes time, but they're ready to take the journey with you. So sometimes take the walk, because you're not walking alone. And things like this won't happen. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. May all these people rest in peace that lost their lives in this tragedy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.